easier for you to subscribe to that channel because you can look it on your phone. You can go to YouTube, go under subscriptions, and if you subscribe to that channel, you will probably see those posts. Because guess what? There are no public videos on that channel. There are no public videos on that channel, so you're not going to find that channel through a simple search engine and then see the channel, find it through that way. You need to subscribe to it. Go download the YouTube app. If you haven't downloaded the YouTube app already on the Play Store, on the App Store, please do that. You can download the app, you can go into it, you can hit subscriptions, and you can find that channel. You can find those posts that I do, those announcements. You can find that information that I give you, which is super important. Okay? So that's what I want to tell you about. Okay? So I just want to say that right off the bat. Now, the next announcement. This summer is going to be really, really interesting. And the thing that's super interesting about the summer is we have a Venus retrograde season. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, relationship, money, what you value, whom you love, will be going retrograde from July 22nd through September 3rd of this year in the sign of Leo. Nadya Shah talks about this in her yearly video for 2023. She has a video she put out on her YouTube channel of the astrology of 2023. And in that video, and in the title of that video, she puts in the Venus retrograde, what will be going on. Okay? And I've spoken to you about Saturn and Pisces and some of the things, and that's really the next big event that we'll be focusing on. So I'm just sort of foreshadowing for that, what'll be happening this summer, but I want to bring it back to March. I want to bring it back to now, because the customs of Saturn and Pisces, and Saturn ingress into Pisces, are very different than Venus retrograde in Leo. The last time that Venus went retrograde in Leo was from July 25th through September 6th, 2015. I was running my Amenten at that time, and for those who were there, remember what it was like at the time, and remember the things I did at the time. It was during that Venus retrograde season that on August 11th, Jupiter, the planet of luck, expansion, abundance, joy, growth, higher education, teaching, wisdom, went into Virgo. And on September 27th, 2015, I might have had my Jupiter return, which comes every 12 years. And you feel jovial, it's time to expand, learn new things, new zest for life, you feel more curious, more optimistic, it's a great time. So, that was when Venus was retrograde in Leo the last time. It will retrograde again in Leo this summer. And the themes that will be inherent with this Venus retrograde will be, who do you love? What do you love? Who do you give your heart to? Who are you loyal to? Who lifts you up? Who inspires you? And where can you express? Who can you have fun with, and who do you love from a heart-centered place? And it's about being generous. It is about creative expression. It just involves so many things, but we have to consider that Leo's ruled by the heart, because all the signs have their own body parts, and Leo rules the heart. And Venus in Leo will be about connecting through the heart. And it's so important that we find that heart connection, because it may be harder to find during Venus retrograde season. I imagine that Venus retrogrades maybe are more emotional than other retrogrades. And Venus retrograde, I'm going to give you, oh my goodness, if I only knew astrology when I was little, man, I would have so, like, wow, you know, many doors would open up. Many, many, many. I can just tell you. But Venus retrograde is not the time to change your hair. Isn't the time to buy this brand new wardrobe. Isn't the time to get a tattoo, or isn't the time to really have a new kind of contract, or get married even. This is the time where, well, you can do that, but you need to be aware and cautious and really sit with it, reflect with it for enough time where, okay, it's true to you because you're reevaluating, and you may not know what is true for you and what you like and what you want until Venus goes direct. Don't go out and buy all yellow clothing when you wear black, and then you look at your outfit around the time that Venus goes direct, and you're like, this isn't what I wear. Like, I don't like this. Don't buy these fancy heels that, or this thing, all those kind of things, So, just if you're considering doing something really dramatic, don't just try to avoid that. And you can push off certain surgeries or certain kind of things because Venus is love and money. So I don't think that surgeries are too big of a deal. I don't think communications are as big of a deal like Mercury retrogrades, but Venus retrogrades can be really invasive because you kind of need to be careful what you buy, where you put your money, because you could buy something and it could just blow up in your face and you may regret buying it. I bought a barbecue wrap the other day when I was going up here to Corning. I stopped at Casey's, bought that. I thought it would be good. I ate it and it was really sweet, and I didn't like the lettuce in it, and I don't like lettuce unless it's on salads, really, or hamburger, something like that. But that's kind of the Venus retrograde moments where you're almost pacifying your truth and you're not facing what is true inside of you, and it's almost like you're sick and you're not feeling good, but you're still trying to make the most of life. You're sick and you're not feeling good, but you want to buy this and you want to eat this. Now I want to try this and do something else. So that's the kind of feeling that I get with Venus retrograde. So yeah, those kind of things, especially in Leo, because Leo is super materialistic. It has an eye for beauty. It has an eye for things like crowns and jewels, and wants to decorate herself. It loves glamour. Buying a new car, investing in that. I don't know about buying a new house. Really getting into those big processes when Venus goes retrograde, and that comes from the astrologist's point of view. Or be really mindful when you're doing that. And cuisine, like lemonade, slushies, food, drinks. We'll get into all those kind of things with Venus and Leo too. But there'll be activities that we'll do, there'll be fun things, there'll be, cleaning fan blades, and that's sort of a face picture I see with that. And it's all about creative expression. There'll be certain activities every Friday, because Friday, all the days of the week are ruled by different planets. So Friday is Venus Day. So every Friday during that Venus retrograde, there'll be an activity that we'll do to take advantage of that Venus retrograde and do something that relates to Venus retrograde. Go somewhere, watch a video, or do something. So that's what I just want to point out. And that will be part of the summer 2023 concert talking about Venus in retrograde in Leo. That's a huge part of this summer going on. So I do want to move on here. The next big thing that I want to talk about with all of you is something called a custom stereotype. This is customs that you see within somebody when you see them for the first time, of things that you easily see about them or easily perceive about them that brings to mind certain things, including food, music, occasions, weather, events, experiences, when you see them or view them from the first time. When it comes to Nadya Shah, the astrologer, an astrologer on YouTube, I see, she plays like Indian music, and those kind of music from her videos. Her dad is Indian, and so it was born and raised in Canada, but she probably has that Indian or Middle Eastern kind of heritage to her, and I think that that's fairly obvious. And I would never have guessed that she was born and raised in Canada. This woman is like kind of Asian American, Indian American kind of thing. But I literally see Bollywood music. I hear Bollywood music. I see this women dressing in Bollywood clothes with textures, designs, colors, dancing Bollywood music. I see that. I see, like, strangely enough, when I would go to Des Moines and when I would have medical appointments, and see the skyscrapers in Des Moines, for some weird reason, I associate Nadya Shah and going into Des Moines for medical appointments, and I put those together. Sorry about my voice here. Nadya Shah's mother was a Virgo, and Virgo is the sign of being diligent about your routines, health, living a conscious life, purifying, getting the details right, trying to improve yourself as a person, humble, being of service, taking care of yourself. It's to do with health. And that's sort of a mother sign, and a mother zodiac sign is the sign that you're it's to where you're so aware of it, you don't want other people to remind you of that, of what you've sort of got trained into, like nature versus nurture, that whole argument. That mother nurture, mother knows best. It is the sign that has really got into you as a nurture perspective from somebody else who's other than you, that you have become, and that you, it's almost like, you're super aware of, and you can see this kind of person and associate the sign with this person as being really strong and matured. Anyway, sort of the side of you that is the mature side of you, the side of you that is that has the good ethics and morals, I guess you could say, put into you. The side of you who is, matured and disciplined and all those kind of things. And that's a whole rant that I could go on and off. And, we may talk about that another time. But anyway, there's going to be a presentation that you're going to be doing, which is going to be due March 21st, due on April 20th, and that's when we have that eclipse going on, at 11:59 p.m., where you're going to take yourself and then somebody else, and then get into their stereotypical custom with the, whatever, the setting, the weather, the music, food, whatever it is that makes the custom on the way it is, whatever you see or hear or think about when it comes to this person that they're maybe trying to move away from, or they're trying to be original or move out of the box and really being their own person, as opposed to fitting in that stereotype that you see of them. Because a stereotype is sort of a box that people can put themselves into, or that they're actually into. Like, stereotypical for women to like certain things, women to like certain clothes or do certain jobs. In a patriarchal society, the men go out and they're the breadwinners, they make some money, they go to work, and then the wife stays home, cooks, cleans. So that's a stereotype. That's an example of a stereotype. And it's really often that those people can move out of that stereotype and be who they are authentically, and they're more complex than that stereotype that often comes at the first impressions of what you see of them, so that they're not, black and white, so that they're more complex, they're more either a lot of things mixed into them. They're sort of a blend or an infusion of things, I guess you could say. There's more nuance. You can see so many different, customs, sides to them that make you think of all these other people. They remind you of all these other people. They have these different qualities and traits and characteristics and ways about them, that are different than that stereotype. So that the whole conversation that we'll continue to get into, basically what you will do is it will be a presentation. You'll have slides, you'll have images, you may have videos, which you will explain the different aspects of this person's custom. So there'll be two presentations, one of which is your stereotypical customs, or custom, or a customary is a whole range of customs, and then another customs, and then another presentation is on this other person's stereotypical custom, and you're going to be writing stuff about it, explaining stuff about it, showing this video or this image, and how that contributes to the stereotypical custom, how it contributes to them. What does this mean? How is this a part of them? What do you see of them? What do you think about when it comes to them that is a stereotype? And why do you think this way? Why do you feel this way? What part of them makes you think this, or makes you feel this way about them that is stereotypical? Like, Indian women were born with this family, with these traditions, they like Bollywood music, they like all these kind of things. That can be a stereotype. And so you're putting images, you're putting explanations over, how they fit into that stereotype and what parts of them, contribute and create that stereotype that you see of them to make what it is. So that's what that is about. That is due on April 20th. And there'll be a whole list of instructions. You can use sources on the internet. You can use, images. You can use videos. But you're basically expressing them, and a lot of the times, it may be very, a lot of the time it may be random, like the stuff that you have to say and explain about this person and their customs. In this case, their stereotypical custom may be random, but you have to find a way to make it important. You have to find a way to tie it into who they are and how they present themselves. Moving right along. So I spoke about that. Now, the other little thing here, before I get into this week. Yesterday, in the afternoon, some of you may have seen this. I sent an email. I put a post out about it. There were people who came to the Amenten who were members of my Amenten, and they came to me on that doorstep, uninvited and unannounced, asking me a question. And I am not going to be, I am not going to tolerate that at all. That is not acceptable. I want to make it clear, crystal clear, that none of you can come to me at this address or any other address besides the home that I live in where my Amenten's located to ask me a question, because I'm trying to enjoy my vacation. I'm trying to spend time with my family. And these people come and ask me questions and waste time when they could be doing better things with their time. They could be going off being productive. They could be going on enjoying their day, and I could be doing other things. I could be doing more productive things. I could be enjoying my day, but then I have to deal with and address this person coming to me at the doorstep, which is really rude and inconsiderate, and it's wrong. And I'm not going to tolerate that. You cannot do that unless you email me, or there will be a time after this meeting's over for you to ask me any questions that you want or need to ask me regarding anything, no matter how sudden or how urgent or trivial the matter may be. You cannot come to me at this house and ask me that question. You have to email me, or wait till I invite you, or wait till a formal Amenten meeting here to ask me that question. I want to make that crystal clear. There will be 3 strikes. The first time members of my Amenten, or members of another Amenten, or officials from the Amenten headquarters, or officials from other Amentens, or whoever is within the Amenten realms comes to me, then I will address the issue and I will tell them, hey, you can't do this, and I will come to the door and address it. The next time it happens, see who it is. The next time it happens, I will look to see who it is, and you'll just have to wait on the doorstep until you're disappointed, until I don't answer, until I don't respond, and then you have to walk away dragging your tail between your legs and go where you came from, or go somewhere else. The second time that same person comes to comes to this address and asks me that question, I will call the police, and they'll come over here, and that the matter will be sorted out when they're here, and basically all of you in your relationship with me, you are all complete strangers to me when it comes to being here in this setting. Okay, so you're embarrassing yourself, and it's just wrong, it's embarrassing, and just a waste of your time. And it's just rude. It would be really rude and wrong of me to come to any one of your houses when you're enjoying your time with your family. Even if you were the Amenten leader, I wouldn't do that. So, regardless of whatever the matter is, how urgent, how important it is, how trivial it is, I do not want to be bothered here. No matter how urgent or how trivial, how important or how trivial, I don't want to be bothered here at this address. I want to make that clear. And I put that video, I published it, I uploaded it, I made a post about it, I emailed it, okay, so that you could see how this is wrong, so that you could see that, so that you could, okay, so that you can know, okay, I'm not going to do this. I am not going to do this. Just to show you and remind you again that you can't do that. If you forgot your computer or your phone, and we have a communication system through either of which, that's your problem. That is on you. Okay, that is your own fault, not mine. I guess you have to wait until that Amenten meeting to ask me questions, regardless of what it is. I will not have any one of you coming uninvited and unannounced here to this address, period. Okay? So, if you forgot your computer too bad. You'll just have to wait to ask me those questions. And for those people who came to me the other day, now is your opportunity when I'm done with all the information I have to ask me those questions that you have. Now, I got through with talking about that. Today, I want to make this really, really clear and straightforward. If you are planning to, this is why I make posts. This is why I send emails. I don't want to have to reiterate all this information again. But if if you are planning to go on buses, to go on a bus back home, here's what you need to know. Okay, so if any one of you are going back home on a bus, here is what you need to know. I want you listening very carefully to me right now. Okay? Very carefully. The buses will be arriving at 1 o'clock today. You need to have your stuff packed up and ready so that you can load those buses at that time. Okay? It will take some time for people to load all those buses. There will be chaperones on those buses, okay? So, you will load the buses. You'll get all your stuff packed up. Then, the buses will leave. Once everyone gets their stuff on, and it would be a really good idea to write your name on your stuff. To take a Sharpie, write your name on it. To find an efficient, organized way of keeping track of your stuff so that you don't lose it amongst the many people that are packing their stuff up. To find a way to keep track of it. Okay? So, those buses will go, travel down the highway, and they will stop at Casey's. At Casey's, you have an opportunity to go to the restroom, to get a drink or snack. You have some time to pay for whatever you want using your own money. None of the chaperones will be responsible for you, okay? So, that time is yours, however you want to use it, so take advantage. You'll go, take care of yourself, get what you want, buy what you want, go back on the bus, and wait for other people to be done, okay? And then once everybody is loaded on the bus and they've gotten what they need to get, those buses will leave, and it will not stop anywhere else on the way back to the Amenten. Okay, so you'll get your stuff, go back on the bus, wait for everyone else to, get back on the bus. You'll continue going back to the Amenten. You'll get dropped off at your house or your living quarters. You can tell the bus driver, where you want to be dropped off at. If you want it, so the buses are automatically going to go back to my Amenten. But if you want the bus to drop you off at your house, then okay. Yeah, this is where it gets really, really complicated. So, it'll be a hunk of, you need to get it figured out, okay? So, yeah. So, you can give the people your address. You can give the bus driver directions over where you want to be dropped off if you don't want to be dropped off at the Amenten. Okay? Or unless you have a car parked at the Amenten and you want to just go, get dropped off at the bus, go in your car, drive home, that whole deal. But, that bus will go back to the Amentens, and then you can tell the bus driver at that point, the people will be dropped off at the Amentens for those who have living quarters here at the Amenten, and for those people who live at the Amenten and want to be dropped off at the Amenten. Then, after the buses gets back to the Amenten, you can tell the bus driver, hey, I want to get dropped off at my house, or I want to get dropped off somewhere else because someone's going to pick me up, or whatever your arrangement is. Okay? So make it clear to them. Know that I do not expect you to be at the Amenten for the rest of the day. There will be no meetings, there will be nothing going on today. Okay? Or tomorrow. Because tomorrow is the new moon in Pisces, you can stay home, there's nothing going on tomorrow. Okay? So, yeah. Okay? So, Sun's in Pisces today, welcome, it's Pisces season. So, yeah. So that's for those on buses. Okay? So, that whole deal. I'm not going to repeat that information again. For those of you who drive in cars or you're being driven, well, you probably have your stuff packed up already, ready to go. Once the Amenten meeting is over, you can leave. Or you can go back to the headquarters, get your stuff back, packed up, and then you can leave and go back home or wherever you want to go. Okay? I want to make that clear, and I want to make it clear for all of you to understand that, okay? Now, Nadya Shah will be arriving at the Amenten at February 23rd. Nadya Shah will be coming back to the Amenten, okay? So, I will get it clarified with her what time of the day that she wants to come to the Amenten. Okay, so she'll get that figured out. She'll tell me, email me. I'll let all of you know, and then there'll be a meeting or welcoming for that day at that time whenever she comes back. But she has some stuff to talk about that she wants to share, and I want to invite her back anyway. So that'll go on February 23rd. Okay. So, also, February 28th, your global humanitarian issue assignment is going to be due at 11:59 p.m., okay? So, if you've been putting that off, or if you've been procrastinating, now is the time to get on the ball with that and get it going and to be diligent and to work on that. So, you need to have your pamphlet done, your information research typed out, your, how's the problem, how's the issue, what are the examples of how it shows up in the world, and then your solutions. What's your solutions? And preferably, if you can find images, put images that people can see, the visuals of what you're looking at. So it's not just words, but it's also